Okay, Mike John, as you know, you're one of the best and brightest uh, of Dari students I've ever seen. Hopefully, your OPI result will, show this fact. Please tell us a little bit about, what worked for you in Dari language. How did you um, used to grasp, the language, uh, and what was helpful for you? So if you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, for me, at the beginning, it was just repetition, kind of getting used to the sound of the language and speaking it. As far as homework, most of the time at home, I would just memorize the words by using flashcards, pretty much exclusively. And
How would you do that? Just diary, or write? Would you write the English at the back of it, or was it Rapid Road? What was it?
At first, I used actual index cards. It was I would have the English on one side, and then the Dari script on the top of the other side, and then the Dari transliteration at the bottom. And that way, I could go from one to the other, all three, if I needed to. At first, I just used the transliteration, like, well, you're getting used to the sound of it and all that. But at home, I would just memorize new words and then use the class time and the teachers to practice speaking, practice listening, and all that. And I think that kind of it helped reinforce it, and it helped.
Did you used to listen to the audio, or just get the words and learn it from the transliteration?
I would just learn from the transliteration.
So not listen to the vocabulary and just do it like that?
Not usually, no. I found I could go a lot quicker, and for me, I would just grab a few cards and kind of keep going over them until I got it, and then set those aside, move on to the next group, and then keep going back through it, and the audio was just a little too slow for that.
How many flashcards at one time did you use to memorize words?
I would try to get about 30 or so a night, and I mean, the point of it was to kind of stretch it a little bit. The next, when I would study them, I'd try to get about 20, 30, 40 or so. And then at night I would go through them again, and then in the morning, I wouldn't remember all of them, but I would remember a good amount either. I might forget 5 or 10, but then they'd be much easier to remember after that. So it's kind of just repetition of it, and then trying to turn that short term into long term overnight.
Okay, and how about conjugations of personal endings?
Conjugation is just repetition. Like if you messed up on it when you're talking, just stopping and saying it correctly, and then just going back through it. And it helped having the teacher there to catch you, because a lot of times you didn't.
Okay,
notice.
So did you practice it also at home with the flashcards or any?
I did. When we first started getting the verbs, I would go through like maybe the 10 verbs that we had and conjugate each one of them, and then move on to the next one, and then keep doing that. If I messed up, you just do it over again. So especially at the beginning, repetition is a big thing. Just getting used to the sound of it and the different quirks as opposed to the English language.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what part of the book was helpful to you, or what part was really interesting to study and caught your interests?
The part of the books I really liked was the exchange, the conversation, the narrative. One, because it added a different voice to it, aside from the teachers. But aside from that, it was mostly just getting the vocab. The homework, it was good, but I don't think it really got too in depth. And the grammar was obviously very helpful, but the book mostly provided just a base that the teachers and the instructors could then work from.
How would you learn the grammar?
The grammar also kind of trial and error. Like when we learned something new, try to implement the conversation or try to use it, and then if you got it wrong, then hopefully the teacher would catch it, and then you try to get it right.
Did you used to go over that at home, and for how long did you used to spend time on going over the grammar?
The grammar, if there was one that I would also write like the different tenses down on flashcards and in English, and just kind of explain, how to use the verb and then the endings and the prefixes. And then that way, if I had a question about it, I didn't have to flip through the book. I could just pull that flashcard out and look at it while I was constructing a sentence or saying the conversation. But I didn't go over it a lot at home. mostly at home was just the new verbs or the new words, and then the classroom was when I tried to learn and use the grammar as much as possible.
Okay. And do you have anything to say to the new students that will start, this course? Something helpful that was helpful to you?
It's like the teachers say, if the first few weeks are going to be hard, but if you just concentrate on it then, at the end, it gets easier and it gets more fun, and you can really start kind of using the language to your advantage instead of letting it just beat on you. And you're going to go through times when you feel like you're learning nothing or forgetting some things, but really you're still getting it, and you just need to work through them.
Okay, what other languages do you speak beside Dari?
Currently, none. I took German in high school, but I don't really remember any of it, and especially now because it kind of got all pushed out.
Mm-hmm. So English is the only language beside Dari?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much for talking to Radio Mukhtar.
Well, thank you for having
And
me.
yeah, I will be looking forward to see you in the future, and we'll be in touch, and hopefully you will have level 2 on your OPI at least,
We'll see.
and we'll talk. Thank you very much for
Thank
talking
you.
with us. Have a great trip to Afghanistan and a safe trip, and God bless you in the United States of America and Afghanistan.
Yes.
Thank you.